It seems like you're someone who's not just interested in success, but in maximizing your impact, both personally and professionally. And I get it. And today we're going to explore a framework that might just change everything for you. We're calling it the EOS Life.
Okay.
Think more free time, booming income, rock-solid relationships, and a deep sense of purpose.
I like it already.
Right. We're diving deep into Gino Wickman's book. It's called the EOS Life, to extract those golden nuggets of wisdom that can help you achieve all of that and more.
Yeah, it's fascinating how many people, they chase success without truly defining what it means for them.
Yeah.
The EOS Life is about building a life that is custom fit to your aspirations.
Less of a one-size-fits-all approach and more like a bespoke tailor situation.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's where the power of this framework lies. It boils down to 5 key elements. Doing what you love with people you love, making a huge difference, being compensated appropriately, and having time for other passions.
Wow, all 5. It sounds almost too good to be true. How does it even work?
Well, the EOS Life, it doesn't dictate what you should love or how much money you need.
Okay.
It simply provides the structure to define that for yourself, along with the tools to make it happen.
That's amazing. I'm already hooked. Let's start with doing what you love. It's a great concept, but how do we even know what the IS?
That's where the delegate and elevate tool comes in.
Okay.
Imagine a 4-quadrant grid. You list all your work tasks, then sort them based on, what you enjoy doing and what you excel at.
Right.
The goal is to identify the tasks that you both love, A and D are great at.
Right.
Those are your high-impact activities, your sweet spot.
Okay, so I'm picturing this grid, and I can already see myself trying to wiggle out of certain tasks.
Yeah.
It feels a little indulgent, doesn't it? Like, who am I to delegate if I built this from the ground up?
It's a common hurdle, yeah.
Yeah.
And there can be feelings of guilt or unworthiness associated with, freeing yourself up from certain tasks. Wickman, he shares a story about a CEO named Trixie White who completely transformed her work life by delegating operations to focus on big picture thinking and company culture.
Oh, wow.
It was a total game changer.
So delegating isn't just about efficiency.
Yeah.
It's about aligning our work with our true strengths and passions.
Exactly.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of us get stuck doing things, we're good at but don't enjoy simply because we've always done them.
Right, exactly. Yeah, the key takeaway here is continuous improvement.
Okay.
Wickman challenges us to delegate at least one thing every quarter, constantly pushing towards that sweet spot where we're both loving and excelling at our work.
That's a fantastic challenge. I'm starting to feel energized already.
Yeah.
But what about the people we work with?
Yes.
That second element of the EOS Life with people you love. Because let's be real, some coworkers are just energy vampires.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
And this is where the People Analyzer tool becomes incredibly valuable. It helps you build a circle of people who truly energize and support you. But first, you need clearly defined core values for your company or team.
That makes sense. Our listeners can, explore the concept of core values further on their own if they're not familiar.
Right.
So once you've got those values nailed down, how does this People Analyzer work?
It requires honesty.
Okay.
You assess how everyone around you is actually living those values. This can lead to tough decisions.
Okay.
Like realizing that someone, even a high performer, isn't aligned with the culture you're trying to build.
So we might be talking about leadership shakeups or even parting ways with longtime colleagues.
Yes. And you might be surprised how often it happens.
Oh, really?
Wickman mentions that about 80% of leadership teams change after implementing EOS.
Wow.
He shares a great example of Derek Pittick, an integrator at Talent Launch. When he applied the People Analyzer, it led to a dramatic shift in both the organization and his personal life, resulting in a happier and healthier environment for everyone.
Wow. So it's incredible to see how intentionally building a work environment aligned with your values can have such a positive ripple effect.
Right.
It's not just about, making work more enjoyable. It's about creating a space where everyone thrives.
Absolutely. And the really fascinating part is that Wickman encourages us to apply this principle beyond employees to clients, vendors, and even our personal relationships.
That's a powerful concept. It's like curating your entire social circle to be filled with people who like uplift and inspire you.
Exactly. Imagine the positive energy that would create in every area of your life.
My mind is officially blown. This is way more than just like a productivity hack. It's a complete life philosophy.
Right.
Okay, let's move on to that third element that makes my heart sing. Making a huge difference.
Yes.
I'm already feeling inspired, and we haven't even gotten to the how-to part yet.
Well, this is where we tap into our legacy,
Yeah.
into the impact we want to make on the world, you know?
Yeah.
Wickman connects this to a tool called the Vision Traction Organizer, or VTO.
Ah, another tool.
Yeah.
It seems like every element of the EOS Life has a practical framework to help us bring it to life.
You got it.
I'm sensing a pattern here.
So with the VTO, you define your 10-year target, your 3-year picture, your 1-year plan.
Okay.
It's about thinking big and then breaking it down into those actionable steps.
So no more getting lost in the weeds of daily tasks. We're talking about, focusing on that long-term vision and the impact we want to create.
Exactly.
Well, that's incredibly motivating.
And Wickman shares a truly inspiring story about Chris Roth,
Okay.
who took a small trade school and turned it into a life-changing force for its graduates.
Wow.
Talk about making a huge difference.
Now, that's what I call a legacy.
Right.
But I have to ask, this all sounds amazing for, like, company founders and visionaries, but what about the rest of us?
Yeah.
Does this making a difference principle apply even if we're just leading a department or team?
That's a great question, and the answer is absolutely yes.
Oh, good.
Even leading a small team can have a huge ripple effect. Think about the impact you can have on your team members' lives, their families, even your customers.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that every role, every action has the potential to create positive change.
So it's less about our title or position and more about the intention and positive influence we bring to our work,
Exactly.
no matter what we do.
It's about understanding that everyone has the power to make a difference.
Okay, now let's be honest. That fourth element, being compensated appropriately, is probably on everyone's mind.
Right.
I know I'm curious to hear what Wickman has to say about this.
And it ties beautifully back to the delegate and elevate tool we discussed earlier.
Oh, okay.
By freeing ourselves up to focus on those high-impact activities, we naturally increase our earning potential.
So it's not about being greedy. It's about recognizing our worth and ensuring we're rewarded for the value we bring.
Exactly. It's about understanding the concept of economic leverage.
Okay.
He illustrates this perfectly with a simple analogy.
Okay.
Mowing the lawn,
Mm-hmm.
time spent on low-value tasks like meticulously trimming your lawn for hours is actually lost income.
Okay, I'm loving these analogies, like a light bulb moment.
Right.
So by delegating those tasks, we free up our time to focus on activities that actually generate more income. And they allow us to pursue our passions.
Exactly. Now, many people struggle with the fear of affording help,
Yeah.
but Wickman argues that the return on investment usually makes it worthwhile.
Okay.
He shares a story about a company owner who was still personally approving every invoice,
Oh.
costing him valuable time and energy.
Yeah.
It's a common trap.
That's so relatable.
Right.
It's easy to get stuck in those patterns of thinking we have to do it all ourselves.
But the key takeaway is that strategically delegating those lower value tasks not only frees up our time and energy, but also increases our earning potential.
Yeah.
It's a win-win situation.
I'm starting to see how all of these elements of the EOS Life work together to create this like incredible synergistic effect.
Yes.
It's not just about working less or earning more. It's about aligning our actions with our values.
Right.
And creating a life that feels both fulfilling and impactful.
You're getting it.
And that brings us to the final element, which is all about balance and sustainability, time for other passions.
Yes.
Many people talk about work-life balance,
Right.
but it often feels more like a tightrope walk than a peaceful stroll.
That's where Wickman's concept of the work container comes in.
Okay.
He challenges us to define our ideal number of work hours per week and weeks per year.
Right.
This isn't about minimizing hours. It's about being intentional with our time and energy.
So it's about finding a sustainable work rhythm that honors our individual needs and preferences, like a personalized schedule that actually works for us, not against us.
Exactly. And he emphasizes that it's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
Some people thrive on a 35-hour work week,
Yeah,
while others might need 80 hours to feel fully engaged.
I can see that.
It's not about judgment, it's about self-awareness and honesty.
I love that idea of an internal compass guiding our work rhythm.
Yes.
It makes it feel less about following some external rule and more about honoring our own energy and capacity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to test whether your business can truly run without you, Wickman proposes the 1-month sabbatical challenge.
Okay.
This is the ultimate test.
A whole month off.
It might sound terrifying, but it can also lead to amazing breakthroughs,
Yeah.
as demonstrated by Tracy Call's experience.
That does sound a little scary, but also incredibly liberating.
Right?
I can imagine all sorts of anxieties popping up. What if things fall apart while I'm gone?
That's precisely the point.
Oh.
If your business can't function without you for a month, it signals a need to delegate more effectively and build stronger systems.
Right.
And Tracy's story highlights how stepping away can lead to unexpected growth, both personally and professionally.
Okay, I'm definitely adding plan a sabbatical to my to-do list. This is a game changer.
Right.
It's not just about taking a break. It's about building a business and a life that can thrive, even when we step away to recharge and reconnect with our passions.
That's exactly right. The EOS Life is about building a life that works for you, not the other way around.
This has been an incredible start to our deep dive into the EOS Life.
Yes, it has.
We've explored these 5 core elements that lay the foundation for a truly fulfilling and impactful life, both personally and professionally.
Absolutely.
But before we wrap up part 1, I'm curious to know what stood out to you the most.
Yeah.
What's one nugget of wisdom you'll be taking away from this conversation?
Welcome back to our deep dive into the EOS Life.
It really has.
It's been great unpacking these core elements with you so far.
It really has. We explored those 5 pillars of the EOS Life, remember. Doing what you love, with people you love, making a huge difference, being compensated appropriately, and having time for other passions.
Yeah.
And now I'm excited to see where this journey takes us next.
Well, as we were preparing for this deep dive, I noticed how much emphasis Wickman places on managing energy.
Okay.
It's like he's saying that knowing what we want isn't enough. We need to, cultivate the energy to make it happen.
That resonates with me.
Yeah.
I've had moments where I knew exactly what I wanted, but I just, lacked the drive to pursue it.
Right.
So how do we unlock that energy and, keep it flowing?
That's where this bonus section at the end of the book comes in.
Okay.
10 disciplines for managing and maximizing your energy.
Okay.
He outlines simple, practical habits that can have a huge impact on our well-being and ability to achieve our goals.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
These disciplines sound like the secret sauce to actually living the EOS life, not just dreaming about it.
Right.
So what's the first discipline we should focus on?
It all starts with long-term vision.
Okay.
Wickman calls this first discipline 10-year thinking.
10 years? That feels like a lifetime away.
Right.
I can barely plan my week, let alone a decade.
That's precisely the point.
Okay.
Most of us, we get so caught up in the day-to-day that we lose sight of the bigger picture.
Right.
By shifting to a 10-year mindset, we slow down time and make better decisions.
So it's not about predicting the future. It's about expanding our perspective and aligning our actions with long-term goals.
Exactly.
I like that. It takes the pressure off knowing it doesn't have to be perfect. It's more about, direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He challenges us to write down the date 10 years from now, imagine ourselves at that age, and ask, what's the number one thing I want to have accomplished?
That's a powerful exercise.
Yeah.
It forces you to think beyond the immediate and consider what truly matters in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
Yeah. It makes me wonder, are there any examples of people successfully using this approach?
Well, he talks about reviewing our existing commitments.
Okay.
And asking whether they align with that 10-year vision. If not, it might be time for a course correction.
Right.
This isn't just about setting goals. It's
Yeah.
about making sure everything we do is moving us closer to that vision.
It sounds like a great way to weed out distractions and stay laser focused on what truly matters.
Right.
I can see how that would free up so much mental and emotional energy.
Yeah, and remember, he's an entrepreneur at heart.
Yeah.
So he emphasizes being financially prepared for bumps in the road.
Okay.
He suggests having at least 6 months of operating expenses saved, both personally and in your business.
That's solid advice.
Yeah.
It's like building a safety net so you can pursue those big goals without constantly worrying about finances.
Right.
But achieving those big 10-year goals requires serious energy.
Yeah.
How do we avoid burning out along the way? It's a concern I hear a lot.
That's where discipline number 2 comes in.
Okay.
Take time off.
Okay.
It's not just a suggestion. It's essential for sustaining that energy and avoiding burnout.
I'm all about rest and rejuvenation.
Yes.
But I know a lot of entrepreneurs They wear busyness as a badge of honor.
Right.
They seem almost addicted to work.
Well, Wickman calls them out on that, yeah?
Yeah.
Comparing it to, like, sleep deprivation.
Oh, yeah.
If we don't recharge, our well-being suffers,
Right.
It's not about minimizing work, it's about being intentional.
Okay.
He suggests choosing a specific number of days off each year and committing to them in writing.
Wow. A written contract with ourselves to prioritize rest.
Yes.
It sounds almost radical in today's, always-on culture.
Right.
But I can see how it would shift our mindset from, guilt to empowerment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He shares a powerful story about a CEO named Todd Sommerfeld, whose wife told his EOS implementer, "EOS has given me my husband back."
That's beautiful.
All right.
I'm adding schedule a vacation at the top of my to-do list right now.
I love it.
It's a reminder that rest is an investment, not a luxury.
That's right.
This has been so insightful already.
Good.
What's next in our journey of energy management?
Discipline number 3 focuses on authenticity.
Okay.
Wickman calls it know thyself.
Know thyself sounds a little philosophical, doesn't it?
It does.
How does it fit into a practical framework like the EOS Life?
Well, it's all about recognizing that we can't be truly effective if we're not living in alignment with our strengths, weaknesses, and personality. It's about embracing those quirks that make us unique.
I've often felt pressure to, fit into a certain mold, especially in the business world.
Right.
Is he suggesting we just let our freak flags fly?
He actually uses that phrase.
He does.
He encourages using personality profiling tools like DISC, Myers-Briggs, or Kolbe to gain a deeper understanding of ourselves. He even mentions therapy as a valuable tool for self-discovery, especially for entrepreneurs.
I love that he acknowledges the importance of mental and emotional well-being.
Yes.
Especially for entrepreneurs, who often face unique challenges.
Right.
There's still a stigma around seeking therapy, so it's refreshing to hear him embrace it.
Yeah. He shares an example of an EOS implementer named Randy McDougall,
Okay.
who found therapy incredibly helpful in becoming more comfortable with vulnerability and embracing his authentic self.
That's so important. It's not about fixing ourselves. It's about understanding and leveraging our unique strengths and weaknesses.
Exactly.
It takes courage to be vulnerable, but the rewards seem immense.
And Wickman highlights that trying to be someone we're not actually drains our energy.
Yeah.
It's exhausting to constantly wear a mask.
Right.
When we embrace our authentic selves, we free up that energy to focus on what truly matters.
That makes so much sense. It's like we're giving ourselves permission to be fully present and engaged without the burden of pretense.
Right.
It's a powerful concept.
Yes.
So knowing ourselves is key to unlocking that authentic energy.
It is.
What's next on our energy boosting journey?
Discipline number 4 invites us to find stillness amidst the chaos of, entrepreneurial life.
Okay.
He calls it simply be still.
I'm sensing a theme here. Long-term thinking, taking time off, knowing ourselves, and now being still.
Right.
It feels like he's creating a foundation for sustainable success, not just a quick fix.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
He emphasizes that this isn't about becoming a meditation guru or anything like that. He
Right.
suggests spending, 10 to 30 minutes each day in silence, whether through meditation, prayer, or simply focusing on our breath.
I've tried meditation in the past, but honestly, I struggle to quiet my mind.
Yeah.
It feels like my to-do list is constantly swirling around.
He describes it as shifting from our heads to our bodies.
Okay.
Finding clarity amidst the noise.
Mm-hmm.
He even says that some of his best ideas for this book came during his morning stillness practice.
Wow, so it's not just about stress reduction. It's actually a source of creativity and inspiration.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see how stillness can fuel our energy and lead to, breakthroughs.
Yes. He uses a great analogy of a jar filled with water and sand.
Okay.
When we're constantly, shaking things up, our minds are like that murky water.
Yeah.
But when we allow ourselves to be still, the sand settles and the water becomes clear.
I love that analogy. It's so simple, yet so powerful.
Right.
Stillness isn't about being passive. It's about creating space for clarity and insight to emerge.
Exactly.
And he argues that this practice actually increases our energy and focus.
Yes.
It's like giving ourselves a mental and emotional reset.
It is.
Okay, I'm convinced I'm adding be still to my daily routine, even if it's just for a few minutes. But I know some people struggle to sit still even for a short time.
Sure.
Any tips?
He shares a story about an EOS implementer named Rob Dube, who was initially resistant to meditation, but had such a profound experience that he now teaches others about its power.
Wow.
It's about finding what works for us, whether it's a guided meditation app, a quiet walk in nature, or simply taking a few deep breaths before starting our day.
Right.
The key is to experiment and find what resonates.
That's encouraging.
Yeah.
It's not about forcing ourselves into a specific practice. It's about finding what brings us that sense of stillness and clarity.
Exactly. And remember, it's a practice, not a perfection.
Right.
The important thing is to commit to those few minutes of stillness each day and see what unfolds.
This conversation has already shifted my energy in such a positive way. I'm feeling calmer, more focused, and inspired to create positive change in my life and work.
Good, I love it.
What's the next discipline we should explore?
Discipline number 5 builds on the idea of protecting our time and energy.
Okay.
He calls it know your 100%.
Wait, didn't we already cover that with take time off?
Well, take time off focuses on the overall number of days off we take each year. No, your 100% takes it a step further by defining our ideal work container. The number of hours per week and weeks per year that allow us to operate at peak energy and avoid burnout.
I'm starting to see the nuance. It's not just about vacation days. It's about creating a sustainable work rhythm that truly honors our, individual needs and preferences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He acknowledges that this will be different for everyone.
Yeah.
Some people might thrive on a 35-hour work week,
Right.
while others might need 80 hours to feel fully engaged.
Yeah.
It's not about judgment, it's about self-awareness and honesty.
This reminds me of that idea of an internal compass guiding our work rhythm.
Yes.
It's about tuning in and figuring out what truly works for us, not what society or others dictate.
Exactly. He shares a great example of an EOS consultant named Meg Mayhew, who is a single parent of 3 kids.
Oh, wow.
And somehow manages to run her own business, be a hockey coach, a volunteer board member, and a lifeguard.
Wow, that's impressive.
Right?
She must have an incredible sense of her own 100%.
Yes.
And how to manage her energy effectively.
Absolutely. And Wickman emphasizes that if we don't protect our 100%, work will inevitably bleed into every aspect of our lives, leaving us feeling depleted and resentful. It's about setting clear boundaries and honoring our own limits.
It's so easy to fall into the trap of overwork, especially in today's culture.
It is.
But I'm starting to see how protecting our 100% is not selfish. It's actually essential for our well-being and the quality of our work.
It is.
Yeah.
He challenges us to write down our 100%.
Okay.
Both the number of hours per week and the number of weeks per year.
Mm-hmm.
And treat it as a non-negotiable contract with ourselves.
I love the idea of a contract with ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
It elevates it beyond a vague intention to a concrete commitment.
Yes.
It's a powerful shift in mindset.
It is. It's about taking control of our lives and creating a schedule that supports our vision and goals.
This is such a game changer.
Yeah.
I'm feeling empowered to define my own 100% and create a work rhythm that truly aligns with my energy and aspirations.
That's fantastic. Remember, the EOS Life is all about creating a life that works for you, not the other way around.
Okay, so we've explored 5 disciplines for managing our energy, 10-year thinking, taking time off, knowing ourselves, being still, and knowing our 100%.
Right.
What's next on Wickman's list?
Discipline number 6 might seem simple,
Okay.
but it's incredibly powerful.
Okay.
Saying no.
Another discipline about setting boundaries. I'm definitely noticing a pattern here.
Yes.
It seems like protecting our time and energy is crucial for living the EOS life.
You got it.
Yeah.
Once we've defined our 10-year vision, committed to taking time off, gotten to know ourselves, found stillness, and determined our 100%, saying no becomes much easier.
Because we have that clarity about what truly matters and what we're willing to invest our time and energy in.
Yes.
It's no longer a knee-jerk reaction. It's a conscious choice aligned with our values and goals.
Exactly. Wickman argues that when we're constantly saying yes, we're scattering our energy in a million different directions.
It's like trying to be everything to everyone and ending up feeling overwhelmed, resentful, and ultimately unfulfilled.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He even quotes Warren Buffett here,
Oh, wow.
who famously said, the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything.
Wow, that's a powerful quote. But I think a lot of us struggle with Like saying no without feeling guilty or like we're letting people down.
Right.
Do you have any tips for navigating those feelings?
Wickman has a great technique for that.
Okay.
He suggests treating every decision as if someone were asking us to eat a worm.
Okay.
Would we hesitate to say no in that situation?
That's a hilarious analogy.
Right.
I think we'd all be pretty firm in our no when it comes to worm eating.
Right. But sometimes those requests or opportunities feel more tempting than a worm.
They do.
They do.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of, like, a new project.
Right.
Or the fear of missing out on an opportunity.
That's where having that strong foundation of the first 5 disciplines comes in.
Right.
When we're clear on our priorities and values, it becomes easier to discern what's truly aligned with our goals and what's simply a distraction.
So by practicing those first 5 disciplines, we're building the muscle of discernment and strengthening our ability to say no with confidence and grace.
Exactly. We're not just saying no to protect our time. We're saying yes to what truly matters.
I love that reframing. It's not about deprivation. It's about empowerment and alignment.
Exactly. And by doing so, we free up our energy and focus to create the life we truly desire.
Yes.
We're no longer at the mercy of other people's agendas. We're consciously choosing to invest our energy in what aligns with our vision.
This is so liberating. It's like taking back control of our lives and our energy.
It is.
I'm excited to see what other energy boosting strategies Wickman has in store for us.
Discipline number 7 builds on the concept of economic leverage that we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
Wickman calls it, don't do $25 an hour work if you want to earn 6 figures.
I love that he puts a specific dollar amount on it.
Right.
It makes it so much more tangible.
Yeah.
It's like he's challenging us to step up our game and focus on those high value activities that will truly move the needle.
He's not saying there's anything wrong with earning $25 an hour.
Right.
But if our goal is significant wealth and impact,
Yeah.
we need to be laser focused on activities that generate the highest return on our time and energy.
It's about recognizing our value and ensuring we're not wasting precious time on tasks that can be delegated or outsourced.
Yeah. Right.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. And remember that lawn mowing analogy?
Yes.
Every hour spent on low-value tasks is an hour we're not spending on activities that will move the needle in our business or personal lives.
It's a great reminder that our time is our most valuable asset.
Yes.
We need to be strategic about how we invest it.
He stresses that it's not just about money. It's about freeing up energy and time to pursue our passions and make a bigger impact.
Right.
It's about aligning our work with our values and creating a life that feels both fulfilling and prosperous.
I'm seeing how all of these disciplines are interconnected and build upon each other.
Yeah.
It's a holistic approach to creating a life that's both successful and sustainable.
It is.
Yeah.
He provides some great examples of how to apply this principle in our work lives, like hiring an assistant to handle administrative tasks, or delegating contract reviews to someone else in the company.
It's about building a team and leveraging the strengths of others so that we can focus on our own zone of genius. It's not about doing it all ourselves. It's about creating a system that supports our growth and success.
And he shares a story about a company owner who was still personally reviewing every invoice.
Oh, I can relate to that.
Even though it was taking up hours of his time and causing unnecessary stress.
It's so easy to get caught in the trap of thinking we have to do everything ourselves.
Right.
It's a control issue.
It is a control issue.
Yeah.
But the key takeaway here is that by strategically delegating those lower valued tasks, we not only free up our time and energy, we actually increase our earning potential.
Right.
It's a win-win.
This is such a valuable reminder, especially for entrepreneurs who are used to wearing all the hats.
Right.
Delegating isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength and strategic thinking.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that we can achieve so much more when we work together and leverage the talents of others.
Okay, let's keep this energy flowing.
Let's do it.
What's discipline number 8 all about?
Discipline number 8 is all about setting ourselves up for success by preparing the night before.
Okay.
He calls it prepare every night.
Okay, I can get behind this one.
Yeah.
I love the idea of morning routines, but I often forget about the power of creating an evening routine as well.
Right.
It's like setting the stage for a smooth and productive day.
Exactly. And Wickman emphasizes that it's not about creating a rigid schedule or anything.
Right.
It's about taking a few minutes each evening to review your calendar, prioritize tasks for the following day, and set yourself up for a smooth and productive start.
So it's about reducing decision fatigue and eliminating that frantic scramble to figure out what we're supposed to be doing each morning.
Yes.
It's like giving our future selves a gift of clarity and focus.
Exactly. He even suggests laying out your clothes, gathering any materials you'll need, and packing your bags the night before.
Oh, wow.
So that you can literally hit the ground running in the morning.
I love that level of detail. It's like creating a runway for success.
Yes.
It takes away those little stressors that can derail our focus and energy.
It does.
Yeah.
And he points out that this simple practice can actually improve our sleep quality.
Oh, really?
As we're less likely to be lying in bed worrying about what we need to accomplish the next day.
Okay, I'm sold. From now on, I'm prepping for tomorrow tonight.
I love it.
It's like a mini investment in my future productivity and well-being.
It is.
What about discipline number 9?
Discipline number 9 is all about getting organized and creating a central hub for all of our commitments, ideas, and to-dos.
Okay, this speaks to my soul.
Does it?
I love being organized, but I'm always looking for ways to streamline my systems.
Right.
What's Wickman's secret weapon for staying on top of everything?
His recommendation might surprise you.
Okay.
He suggests using a physical notebook, like a legal pad, to capture everything as it comes up throughout the day.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So no fancy apps or digital to-do lists.
He actually prefers pen and paper,
Okay.
arguing that physically writing things down helps us to better remember them.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
There's something about that, tactile experience that helps solidify those thoughts and commitments in our minds.
Yes, and he points out that when we're constantly jotting things down on sticky notes, scraps of paper, or in random digital files,
Right.
we're scattering our energy and creating
It's
chaos.
so true.
Yeah.
It's like our brain is trying to keep track of a million different threads.
It is.
And it's exhausting.
Right. By having that central repository for everything,
Yeah.
we create a sense of calm and control.
It's like creating a sanctuary for our thoughts and ideas, a place where we can collect them, organize them, and then release them into the world with clarity and intention.
He emphasizes that it's not about creating a perfectly organized system or anything like that.
Right.
It's about having a reliable process for capturing everything as it comes up,
Right.
so that nothing falls through the cracks.
Precisely. And at the end of each day, he suggests taking a few minutes to review your notes, prioritize your tasks for the following day, and transfer any outstanding items to your calendar or to-do list.
Exactly.
So it's a simple yet powerful system for staying on top of everything and reducing mental clutter.
Yeah.
I'm ready to ditch the sticky notes and embrace the legal pad.
It's about creating a system that works for you,
Right.
whether it's a physical notebook or a digital tool.
Right.
The key is to find a way to capture everything and keep it organized so that you can focus your energy on the things that truly matter.
Okay, I'm convinced. I'm ready to get organized and reclaim my mental energy. We've covered 9 disciplines so far, all incredibly practical and insightful.
It is.
What's the final discipline on our list?
This one might seem unexpected,
Okay.
but it's all about cultivating humility.
Okay.
He calls it be humble.
Okay, I'm really curious about this one.
Yeah.
How does humility tie into managing our energy? It seems like a more internal quality, not necessarily related to productivity or success.
Right, but Wickman argues that when we're operating from a place of arrogance, we're constantly trying to prove ourselves, control everything, and maintain a sense of superiority.
Right.
And that takes a lot of energy.
It's like we're constantly on guard trying to protect our ego.
Exactly. It is.
Yeah.
He defines humility as your estimate of your own importance in comparison to others.
Oh, interesting.
So it's not about thinking less of ourselves.
Yeah.
It's about thinking of ourselves less.
It's about shifting our focus outward, recognizing that we're all connected and that we can achieve so much more when we work together.
Right.
It's about collaboration over competition.
Precisely. And he stresses that this isn't about being weak or passive.
Yeah.
In fact, he argues that humble people are often the strongest and most effective leaders.
Because they're not afraid to ask for help,
Right.
admit their mistakes, and empower others to shine.
Exactly.
They create an environment of trust and collaboration, which ultimately leads to greater success for everyone.
Yes, and he shares a great story about a humble millionaire
Oh.
who wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty and even picked up, used golf clubs from the trash.
Wow, that's a great reminder that true humility is about letting go of pretense and embracing our shared humanity.
And Wickman challenges us to assess our own level of humility and ask ourselves,
Yeah.
how do I view my importance in comparison to others?
Okay, that's a powerful question.
It is.
It's a great reminder that our energy is best spent on building others up, not tearing them down.
And that brings us to the end of our exploration of the 10 disciplines for managing and maximizing your energy.
Wow.
It's been an incredible journey of self-discovery and empowerment.
It really has.
Yeah.
I'm feeling so inspired to implement these disciplines in my own life and work.
Good.
It's like a toolkit for creating a life that's not just successful, but also sustainable and fulfilling.
Remember, these disciplines are not meant to be overwhelming or rigid.
Right.
The key is to experiment and find what works for you.
It's about creating a personalized approach to energy management that aligns with our unique strengths and aspirations.
Exactly. And by cultivating these habits, we can unlock our full potential and create a life that feels both impactful and energizing.
This has been such a valuable deep dive into the EOS Life.
Yes, it has.
We've explored those 5 core elements that lay the foundation for a truly fulfilling and impactful life, both personally and professionally.
Right.
We also discovered 10 powerful disciplines for managing our energy and staying focused on what truly matters. But before we wrap up part 2, I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
What's one key takeaway you'll be carrying with you from this conversation? We're back for the final part of our deep dive into the EOS Life.
Yeah.
And wow, I'm feeling energized after exploring those 10 disciplines for managing our energy.
Right.
It's amazing how these, simple habits can have such a profound impact on our well-being and ability to achieve our goals.
Yeah, it's about creating a solid foundation for sustainable success.
Right.
Not just a quick burst of energy that, quickly fades.
Yeah.
By incorporating these disciplines into our daily lives, we're building a lifestyle that supports our long-term vision and empowers us to make a real difference in the world.
It's like we're building a framework for living a life that's both fulfilling and impactful. A life that aligns with our deepest values and allows us to make the most of our, unique talents and passions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not just about achieving goals. It's about creating a life that feels good on a soul level.
Right.
A life that energizes us and allows us to show up as our best selves each and every day.
Okay, so we've explored those 5 core elements of the EOS Life, and we've delved into 10 powerful disciplines for managing our energy.
Right.
What are some final thoughts we can leave our listeners with as they embark on their own EOS Life journey?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that it's not about achieving some perfect balance or following a rigid formula.
Yeah.
It's about constantly assessing, tweaking, and refining our approach to life.
Right.
Based on our individual needs and aspirations.
It's an ongoing journey of growth and discovery, not a destination.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's about embracing the process and being open to learning and evolving along the way.
Exactly.
And Wickman provides a ton of practical tools and frameworks to help us on that journey.
He does.
Remember the delegate and elevate tool for identifying our high-impact activities?
Right.
And the people analyzer for building a circle of people who energize and support us?
Yes.
These tools are designed to simplify our lives, not add more complexity.
Exactly.
It's like he's giving us a roadmap, but with the freedom to choose our own route.
Yes.
And customize the journey to fit our individual preferences and goals.
And he constantly reminds us that the EOS life isn't selfish.
Okay.
By creating a better life for ourselves. We become examples and inspirations for those around us.
I love that.
Right.
So it's not just about personal fulfillment. It's about making a positive impact on the world by becoming the best version of ourselves.
Exactly. And remember, the EOS life is about progress, not perfection.
Right.
It's about making small, consistent changes that add up to big results over time.
So as our listeners embark on their own EOS Life journeys, what's one action they can take this week to start implementing these principles?
Well, I encourage them to choose one discipline
Okay.
that resonated with them and commit to practicing it for a week.
Okay.
It could be as simple as dedicating 10 minutes each day to stillness.
Right.
Or identifying one task to delegate. Start small and build momentum from there.
That's great advice. It's about taking that first step and trusting that consistency over time will lead to incredible transformations.
And remember, you don't have to do this alone.
Yeah.
There's a wealth of resources available on eoslife.com, including tools, articles, and a supportive community.
It's like having a team of cheerleaders and mentors supporting you every step of the way.
Exactly.
So embrace the journey.
Yes.
Have fun with it and know that you have the power to create a life that feels truly amazing.
This has been an inspiring deep dive.
It really has.
I'm feeling so motivated to continue exploring the EOS life
Yeah.
and implementing these principles in my own life. I hope our listeners feel the same way.
Me too.
Yeah.
Remember, it's all about taking action and creating a life that is both fulfilling and impactful.
Yes.
The world needs your unique gifts and talents. So go out there and make your mark.
That's a perfect way to wrap up our exploration of the EOS life.
It really is.
Until next time, stay focused, keep growing, and keep making a difference.
Excellent advice. We'll see you next time.